So, I'm going to talk about something that happened to me this year because I need to talk about it and I feel it needs to be talked about. Um, for those of you who don't know, I moved out of my parents' house last year slash start of this year. I moved out with three friends of mine. One of those friends happened to be someone I met in high school and I dated in high school. His name is Rob. For those of you who know him on Instagram, it's Skyther or by Rob. Um, During living with Rob, he got weird. There was a night we were shooting and he got really vulgar and really pushy towards me, while we were shooting, like, oh, you should, show more this, show more that. Can I just like touch your butt or touch, your boobs? Can you just get naked real quick? Can I watch you get naked? Things like that. And it was really weird and offsetting and I didn't like it. So after shooting with him that night, I was like, I'm not going to shoot with him anymore. I can't remember if it was before or after that happened, but there was also a point in time where he sexually assaulted me. No one was home and we were on the couch and he just started touching me without my permission, without my consent, without even asking me. The next morning, I was thinking that was wrong and that wasn't right, and I don't know. I was really confused. So I told one of my other housemates and I asked, should we call the police? Should we talk to Rob? Should we do anything? And I said no for some reason because I thought maybe it was just a misunderstanding. Maybe he wasn't in the right state of mind. And so because of, that, I guess it happened more. And it continued from about January until, April when I moved out. He continued to sexually assault me time and time again. And I guess the reason I'm talking about this is because I feel like people should know. I feel like people should know who he is and what he is and what he can do to people, because he has a very manipulative mindset. He's a photographer in San Diego and he shoots with girls and models, and this is to hopefully protect them because no one knows. And I just want to make sure that no one else happens to feel what I felt this start of the year. I want no one to feel isolated. I want no one to feel guilt and shame and disconnect from everything. Because that's what I did. I disconnected from everything. I stopped focusing on school. I stopped focusing on work, on my friends, on my family. I almost lost my relationship that I'm in. And I lost so much, and I felt so lost, and I felt so helpless, and I felt like he was in control, and this was it. This was going to go on for however long it was going to go on for, because I felt like I couldn't trust anyone, so I couldn't tell anyone because they were on his side, or they were going to do the same thing to me, or they were going to hurt me because I trusted him so much, and he hurt so much of me. Which is why, if you're someone that I talked to on a daily basis or hung out with, if I stopped hanging out with you or I stopped talking to you or all of the above, it's because I felt like I had to be on my own and I had to protect myself, because I felt like no one would, because the instant I trusted someone else to, even consider me as a person or a human, he didn't. And he stripped me down to what he wanted me to be. And he... So, thank you if you've watched this so far. That's kind of it, you know. I moved out and I moved back home and I'm doing better and I've been seeing a counselor, but I felt the need to explain, and I felt more so the need to expose and get it off my chest, because no one knows who he is or what's happened. And since I've come back into the world and I've talked to people and I've reconnected with people that I disconnected myself from, he's been lying, essentially. He's been telling everyone that I left for no reason, and I was the reason that everyone had to move back home and the house fell apart and the lease fell apart, which is a hard thing to hear coming back. So I just want to set things straight, because I don't want to lose all the progress I've made, and I don't want to go back to the person I felt like I was at the start of this year, all because he can't admit that he's a predator and he sexually assaulted me and violated me. So yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Thank you for watching.